Hey everybody, Coffee and Chaos here, and welcome to a very special video of Anno 1800. Thanks to Ubisoft for providing me with access to this game and content. I have partnered with Ubisoft to produce this content, so this is super exciting. So the big news here is Anno 1800 is releasing to consoles, so it's releasing to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, and the game is free from March 16th to March 23rd across all platforms. On top of that, there are Twitch drops happening now, so if you do enjoy watching Twitch, or if you just want to hop on there to get some free content, then go ahead and hop onto Twitch, check out any participating channels to go ahead and get some exclusive items. They're offering 2 exclusive items for watching 1 or 2 hours of content on any participating streams, plus apparently 1 extra item per day. I don't know what these exclusives are necessarily. I'm assuming that they're going to end up being some cosmetic drops, end up being little cosmetic decorative items, and these are only for the console edition is my understanding. But with all that being said, I wanted to go ahead and jump in and start a new game. Now, if you have never seen Anno before and you're sitting here going, well, what is Anno 1800? Or, hey, I saw Anno 1800 pop up on PlayStation. What's the deal with that? We're just going to go ahead and explore that. So while it's been on the PC for 4 years, the console release is going to be just the base game. If you've never ever played Anno before, I very strongly recommend that when you start, go ahead and start the campaign. It's going to end up being a combination of a tutorial as well as giving you the story of the game. You know, every Anno game has a fun and unique little story behind it. This Anno obviously being set in the year 1800 or in the 1800s as a general rule. But for this video, we're going to go ahead and jump into a sandbox game. And with this, we're just going to select a random character here. We're going to select Willy. I'm just going to go ahead and pick some colors. I don't want to waste too much time with this. Now, you'll see here I am playing on the PC, so I have a lot of DLCs that came out. I believe with the release on the PlayStation and the Xbox, there are not going to be any particular DLCs being released, other than there should be, if you want, there will be cosmetic DLCs that you can go ahead and grab if you want some of the cosmetics. I'm just going to make a little thing here. To do Coffee and Chaos, and we're going to jump in with no DLCs enabled, and I will give you guys a sense of what the game will be like if you were to go ahead and jump in for yourself. I'm going to go to some custom rules. I'm assuming that you will still have all of the custom rules available for yourself. I'm going to go with a large starting world, mainly large islands, normal island difficulty. Let's do like we'll do medium fertility so we can go and explore some stuff, medium mineral deposits, and, you know, we'll just go with an archipelago. Pick who you want to play against. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Willy there. We'll go with, let's say, Benti.
Yes, pick me.
We'll just do Benti and Ching just to go ahead and start. We'll leave all of the traders on. These are important. If you've never played before, leave these guys on. You will need them. And pirates will be active as well because it makes it fun. We'll get into a few other things here. Yeah, all of this should be fine. You can go ahead and play. Let's see. Yeah, we'll leave starting harbor off. We're going to start with just a flagship. And I'll leave revealed map off. And we're just going to turn victory conditions off. So while we're loading here, if you have never played an Anno game, Anno is a city builder, but it is also about producing resources and distributing those resources through trade, both amongst your own islands as well as trading back and forth with competitors and some NPCs.
Flagship awaiting instructions.
So, since I chose to start with just a flagship, we are grabbing our flagship here, and we're going to go start exploring the map. Clearly, we can't see a whole lot unless you tilt the camera and you look. Now, again, your mileage may vary with the console edition.
Coordinates plotted.
The controls that they have access to on there will be a little bit different. But you should still be able to get the gist of the gameplay, and by playing through the campaign, you should get a feel for the controls.
Steersman!
So right here, we're going to go ahead and start. This island has potatoes and grain, and it also has niter, which is useful later game. So I'm going to go ahead and get close with our ship. Our ship has timber, steel beams, and weapons. You'll see as we get close, be able to click here
Your city has grown
and
more
build
beautiful.
our trading post.
Flagship ready for orders.
We'll go ahead and move our ship. In fact, I'm going to take our ship and we're going to just queue up some commands. We're going to have him run around and come back. So, what's the first thing you want to do? Well, your trading post is going to hold all of your goods. You'll see it has the timber and the steel beams and the weapons that we dropped off, but also has access to wood here. So, let's go ahead and make some roads. We're going to start connecting up our island. I'm not going to go too in-depth into any kind of beauty building, anything crazy, but we will just get the basics built here. So we're going to build our marketplace. The marketplace is going to provide all of the needs for your citizens. So you'll see it says build residents to see what your population needs.
A competitor raised a settlement.
The next thing we're going to end up making is some farmer houses.
You reached
So we're just going to place
milestone.
as many of these as we can, because with these, we are going to start getting some farmers, our basic population tier. And I'm just kind of building some roads. So you'll notice that up here, you have your total wealth, you have your balance. You'll see that we are losing a little bit to maintenance. That's because the marketplace actually costs us some money. But
fed at least.
the homes will now start providing farmers to us, and farmers
A competitor
provide
raised a settlement.
farmer workforce. You can hear that our competitors are running around and settling islands as well at the exact same time, and we're discovering islands as our ship is running around on the map. It's discovering islands. All you have to do is get close enough to an island, it will be revealed, and then you can potentially exploit that island later. You see we've got multiple islands nearby that could be useful.
This is
But
the
for
way
now-
the farmers ride, hobbledy-hoy, hobbledy-hoy. This is the way the farmers ride, hobbledy-hobbledy-hoy. Hey!
Hey! Yes, you're if you're clicking on a house, they will sing to you, they will talk to you, they will tell you how they're feeling. They're very emotive. So right now we have absolutely no timber left. Well, how do we fix that? Well, for one thing, we can make a sawmill. Sawmill will feed back into the trading post, which acts as a warehouse. But on top of that, we need to then create a lumberjack and have that close enough that it will
Okay.
supply the sawmill. So you'll see, zooming in here, our lumberjacks, they will start chopping down trees, they will start working. You can see a little bar down here that shows productivity, and over 15 seconds, it will make 1 wood. Every 15 seconds, you're making a wood. Brings that over here to a sawmill. You can actually see the little cart coming along, bringing the wood. He'll stop by. You'll see he'll start unloading.
We need something first.
And I will go ahead and fast forward here. And you'll see he's dropped it off, and now the sawmill is producing. And every 15 seconds, as long as it's supplied with wood, it will produce more timber. So that's a thing, you know, we have 60 farmers here. You'll see that we actually only showed 20 earlier. Now we're showing 60. And if you actually look at this, we have a total labor pool of 75 farmers, but we're using 15 for jobs. Lumberjack hut takes 5 farmers. Sawmill takes 10 farmers. So we have enough that we could expand this a little bit more. Let's go ahead and get some more wood. Now you'll see that here, it says it's planting a forest. So our foresters are going out, they're going to start planting trees in the area that they will then be able to chop down in order to generate wood. So that'll take a little bit. See the progress there. Just takes a little bit of time. We'll go ahead and fast forward while that happens. But we did unlock our first tier. So by simply getting enough population, we have unlocked the need that our people now have for fish. So we're going to place a fishery. Now the fishery needs to be connected not just physically, but by a road. See, there's a little symbol there. So we're just going to spend a little bit of money, get a road, and now it's connected. Now, each of these buildings have a maintenance cost. So you see we're now at negative 100. But while simply supplying a marketplace to our people does not...
Princess Ching.
Ah, we met another
Please.
person.
I am curious about your otherworldly customs.
So,
You
while
reach
supplying
a
a marketplace
new
does not
milestone.
provide any cash to us, supplying fish to our people does. They will actually pay you for goods, and you can actually look at these. See, we're actually getting 1 coin per farmer house that is provided with fish. So let's go ahead and spend a little bit of that wood in order to get some more homes. We can get some more homes here.
Her Majesty leans on me to detain any who defile her sovereign laws, including you.
So you can see we're actually meeting a couple things. We're meeting Eli Bleakworth here. He runs a little prison.
Curiosities come from far.
Oh, we met Madame Kahina as well. So he buys potatoes. He will sell us some other things down the line. He sells items that can be equipped in ships, and I believe also in not just ships, but what is it called? Trade unions and other things that you'll get later on down the line. Madame Kahina also has items, and she'll end up buying some stuff later on as well.
Flagship at your service.
Yeah, all of your ships actually have item sockets. So not only can they carry cargo, but they can actually have items that make them more powerful, give them unique bonuses, all kinds of cool things. So, back to the island. I know I'm going rapid fire, but I kind of want to do as much as I can in about an hour's worth of time to really showcase as much of the game as I can. So we're building up our farmers, we're getting a lot more workforce here. And looks like we're out of wood. We're still gathering a little bit more.
Never
Let's
rains in a
see.
dry time.
Aha! We have actually gotten enough workers. I believe it was 100 farmers in order to unlock work clothes, as well as schnapps and the pub. So, we've got a few new needs that our people would like us to satisfy. We're going to go ahead and delete those blueprints I had here. Let's go ahead and add a pub. Spend a little bit of wood to get a pub. That makes everybody in this radius happy. You can see some buildings have a radius on them, like the marketplace here. The darker green means that they're fully satisfied. As you get further and further out and it's lighter and lighter green, they are less and less satisfied. Same thing goes for the pub. And then you also have buildings like your sawmills. They have a range with which they can supply us. So this is how far they can go to either drop their timber at a warehouse or at the trading post, or for these guys, it would be for a warehouse or directly to the sawmill or any other building that requires wood. So, we're supplying fish to our people. I am going to check our ratios really quick by bringing up the production menu. I will not know the controls for how to bring up the statistics menu, but that is something that you will have to look up on the console. So, you'll see here, that's how much we demand. As long as this blue bar is not all the way up the top, we are supplying enough fish to our people. And overall, we're taking a small loss, but if we built a few more farmers' houses, we would actually be making a profit off of that building. Meaning that while it costs us 40 gold in maintenance, it would actually be making us money. So we'll do that. And there you see, it's slowly starting to trickle in just a little bit more money than we're actually spending. Now, the real value is going to come from work clothes and schnapps. Let's start thinking about that. Now, we've got this massive island that we can play with. We're going to go ahead and just kind of expand our road out this way. Let's get a warehouse set up here. It's just blueprinted right now because we don't quite have enough wood. But that's the nice thing is, you can go and build and design and get all of this stuff established ahead of time. Now, I will turn blueprint mode on. That is an option, by the way. You can have a blueprint mode turned on. And we're going to build... So, we got a potato farm. Get that built. We have a schnapps distillery. We'll get that built. Potatoes are generated, and potatoes then get turned into schnapps, and schnapps, as soon as we have enough wood, which I will fast forward for. Potatoes being dropped off. And boom, we now have a warehouse. Schnapps will be dropped off at the warehouse. And once that's dropped off,
Don't mind a bit, foraging.
our people start seeing their schnapps need satisfied. And with the schnapps need satisfied, we are making a lot more gold off of the schnapps than we ever would off of the fish. And we're now profitable. So, that's one need satisfied. How about we work on the work clothes? So, work clothes are also very simple. We're going to go ahead and place down a sheep farm. We're going to add its fields. You'll see it demands 3 sheepfolds, so we place those. We will then build a framework knitter, and that will take the wool and turn it into work clothes. Very, very useful. See if that goes. There we go, being supplied with your first bit of wool. And you are now taking that wool, turning it into work clothes, and dropping the work clothes back off at the warehouse. Ta-da! So,
Thank your loving kindness.
you'll see that there's also 2 different needs. There's needs and happiness. So needs are the basics that your people absolutely have to have. So our farmers absolutely must have a marketplace, they absolutely must have access to fish, and they absolutely must have access to work clothes. With those 3 items, and once their population is full, which apparently our maximum is 13, because lifestyle needs are in the game. I don't know if the lifestyle needs will be something that will be in the game from the console edition. That is something that was added with some of the DLCs more recently. Hopefully you guys should still have access to that. But you'll see here that all of their needs are satisfied. And if we look at happiness, they're also very happy. They have schnapps and pub. The happiness need means that they are less likely to riot, revolt, set things on fire, and cause issues for you. But this is what we're concerned with right now. Let's go ahead and upgrade the farmer into a worker.
You reached a new milestone.
So, this is the core mechanic of the game. You have multiple tiers of population. So while farmers seemed very, very basic, very, very simple,
Honest work, that's all we ask.
upgrading all of these to workers means that now we need to supply all of the goods we required previously, and now they require sausages. And once we have 150 workers, they'll want bread, and then soap, and then schools. There's also the new need for a church, and for beer. And now we have a whole new tab for workers. So, one of the basic needs that they're going to have for construction goods, they're going to need a brick factory, or 2. Another thing to mention, you'll notice that many of these things have ratios. So the clay pit produces clay every 30 seconds. A brick factory produces bricks every minute. So if you wanted to maintain that ratio, you're basically making 2 tons of clay per minute, and you're going to then consume 2 tons of clay per minute in order to make bricks if you place 2 brick factories. So this would be a balanced ratio that would work. So let's go ahead and build a clay pit, which is going to use 50 workers. Wow, we've eaten through most of our workers already. But we have some extra farmers, so let's go ahead and upgrade a few more of them. Alright, that brings our workforce up a little bit. See, now we're having to manage 2 different workforces. We'll go ahead and build both of those that require 25 workers apiece. And now we have a surplus of 20 workers. Now, let's take a look at sausages. Okay, so pigs are produced 1 ton per minute, and sausages are produced at 1 ton per minute. So, we have enough farmers, let's make some pigs. Go ahead and place those.
Nice day for it.
We now have a pig farm.
Darling, bring your pies.
And let's go ahead and add a slaughterhouse. Which, that's going to require some bricks, so we're going to have to wait. And it also is going to need another 30 workers beyond what we currently have. So, let's do that. But man, we need to expand our town. And suddenly the radius that is being taken up by our lumberjack's hut is kind of in the way of our overall city progression. So, let's start moving that over here. I'm going to go ahead and grab the wood production. set that there. Oops. Let's go ahead and grab you. And you. Now you will want to notice that little percentage. See how it says 93%? You want that to be as efficient as possible, so let's actually move this a few tiles over. We're going to delete these roads that are in the way. That's set to 100%. Let's move these over. And I just like to have a little frontage road there. And you know what? Just for making it look better, I'm going to rotate this. And one more time. Little frontage road. Now, none of that is required for actually making these buildings work efficiently. But for me, I like to build things aesthetically pleasing. So, I am what you might call a bit of a beauty builder. I enjoy making things that look really nice in Anno. So with that out of the way, we can now expand our town a little bit further. So we're going to go ahead and get some more farmer houses. Let's go ahead and upgrade these.
You. I'm Bente Jorgensen, chairlady of the Jorgensen Foundation. I can't wait to work with you.
Nice to meet you, Bente. Build a few more farmers' houses.
Raised a settlement.
All right, we've got a ton of farmers on the way. Now, when you build a brand new... Lovely. When you build a brand new farmer's house, it starts with one farmer. Over time, as all of the needs are satisfied, that will fill up. Now, we've built all these extra homes, and we've also built all of the worker homes. They're quite loud when I click on them. So let's double check on our supplies.
Changes, I hope.
So if we look at the consumer goods, these are the things that our people need. We're still producing plenty of fish. Uh-oh, and I do need to click on this really quick. One more mechanic to show you. This is the newspaper. Now, if I wanted to, I could edit a few of these articles. These are different articles that will happen from time to time. As you see, we've got an article giving us happiness, another one giving us happiness, and another one reducing riot chance. Say you had one that you didn't like, or you wanted to have a different effect. Sometimes these will be negative bonuses if you're missing something, if you're not supplying your people with something that they need. You could say, produce a little propaganda article and say, yeah, I could use a little bit of extra income. Spend your money. Buy things.
Perhaps this
But
island is as yet
we're going to skip
unclaimed.
that. And we're going to go ahead and publish. And Princess Ching would like to know if she can settle an island. And it's this island. No, I think I might want that island. So I'm going to tell her no. The harder AIs won't ask you for permission. They will just do. Let's see. How are we looking? So we've got plenty of wood. We have plenty of bricks. We almost have enough workers. Let's go ahead and get a small number of these homes upgraded.
A new milestone.
Oh, we have upgraded our town yet again. Oh, we've unlocked a whole bunch of new things. But first things first. The slaughterhouse. I know I'm going at a breakneck pace. I hope this isn't too fast for people that are new to Anno. But, let's see. Ooh, we now have bread that our workers require. So that's another good that we could supply them with. It's just, now we're getting into some slightly more complex chains. Bread requires flour, flour requires grain, and grain is a farm that just requires a whole bunch of land. Now, farms need to have their fields that touch the actual building. So let's go ahead and place one here. Now, you'll notice different farms have different numbers of tiles. So that's quite a few tiles taken up for grain farms. And you'll also notice you have 2 grain farms to 1 flour mill to 2 bakeries. So you have to watch these times in order to balance out your production needs. Now, if you ever overproduce a good, it's fine because your warehouse will hold up to 75 tons of each good type. So overproducing can sometimes be a good thing as long as you don't go crazy, because remember, every building that we have here costs money, and with that cost, you will see your balance drop. Having a positive income is always a good thing. Now, I will just go ahead and copy-paste this whole field setup. I'm going to wrap a road around this way. think I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to go ahead and add another warehouse. Let's get another grain farm. And now that we're producing flour and grain with all of our farmers, we're going to start making bread with some bakeries. Again, these are going to need bricks, so we have enough for this one, and we're 1 brick shy here. Do I have any bricks being dropped off anywhere? Ah, you're bringing some bricks in?
What kind of town don't have a...
It might take a minute before that gets delivered. Let's add another access road here so our guys can bring their bricks over to this warehouse where it's a little bit closer. Sometimes
Are you permitted
having...
to serve one such as I?
Oh, go away. That is another thing. There are quests in the game. You'll notice these resident
I got
quests.
something perplexing, need setting straight.
Ooh, a puzzle quest. Oh, these. So, there are interesting little quests if you enjoy that type of thing, where you'll have to go and find stray animals throughout your town.
I wish I'd a goose for your kindness.
And you'll get money, you'll get items, you'll get extra little things for doing quests. Now, typically, quests aren't typically my thing. I tend to ignore them. But do note, doing quests for the NPCs can make them like you. And that is important because there is a diplomatic system. Making sure that they like you can keep you from going to war, because war is a thing. And if you ever watch any of my other series, you will notice that I have dealt with war a couple of times. And sometimes it's not fun. We'll build a whole new row of houses there. Add some more there as well. We want to keep expanding our town, gaining more population. You're always going to need to have some farmers to help supply the goods for the workers, some workers to help supply the goods for the next tier up, and so on and so forth. It gets more and more complicated as you go, and there are 5 tiers of citizenry here in the old world, but this is not the only map. Do know there is also the new world to explore. A whole nother map that you can go through and move goods back and forth from the old world to the new world and vice versa. Now, would like to start looking into getting some ships. For ships, you need a sailing shipyard. Let's see. We also will need sails. Sails also require a sheep farm. Going to go ahead and add a few fields there. I might move these a couple tiles. Build that. Build that. We'll start getting some sails in order to help produce ships later on. Now, to build the sailing shipyard, I'm going to need 20 wood and 25 bricks. That's going to take a minute to get that many bricks from just that one clay pit. Maybe we can tap into another. But to do that, we're going to need more workers. So, let's go ahead and head over here. I might have gotten myself a little trapped in here. Let's build a few more homes. We'll add some different block designs in here. And that's the great thing. You can design or build your cities any way you like, and really, really have some freedom to decorate and make them look like something truly unique. Looks like we've got another resident quest here.
It's you what pulls the levers.
Another puzzle quest, huh? Find and collect Old Harold. Old Harold. What's Old Harold doing? Where are you? Let's see what the text quest says. Or quest text. Let's see. This worker's colleague seems to be causing his union a lot of trouble by revolting on the wrong date. He would like you to find him and disperse his one-man protest. Okay, so he's wandering the streets, isn't he? Oh, I think we found Harold. Yeah, Harold is on a strike.
Not bad for a big boss.
Oh, we got some iron. Useful. Oh, yes, we've unlocked Steel beams. Steel beams are something that you require in order to actually expand onto new islands. You need wood and steel to build a new trading post on a new island. Speaking of, I wonder...
Aye, aye.
Have we found... There is an NPC, a very specific NPC, somewhere.
Sails!
And I'm going to explore for him now and kind of look through the fog of war. See if I can find his island.
Let's plot it.
Because... Ah! Oh, that's the pirates, I think. Let's see.
Rudder!
If we find him, he can actually supply us with steel beams, which would allow us to grab a second island, so I could actually show off some of the trading. I'm going to try and do that before we get through an hour of gameplay. But if I don't quite get to it, be sure to check out some of my other videos where I can go ahead and display that a little bit further. Alright, so let's go ahead and get a clay pit. We're going to need a warehouse. And we're going to need some more brick factories. Now, you don't always have to have production lines all near each other. Like, for example, you could have a warehouse with a bunch of farms, and then you could have a bunch of buildings producing something. Like, you could have... You could have all your potato farms on this side of the river, and if you wanted to have another warehouse, you could have all your schnapps distilleries over here. Your production buildings will pull from a warehouse as well as from the actual production building. So not everything has to be all super close like this. It's just very easy in the beginning to have a central warehouse with all your buildings nearby. Later on, though, as you build and expand across your island a little bit further, it can make a lot more sense to disperse. Still need a little bit more wood. That might be the biggest bottleneck. I think I will go ahead and speed up the game a little bit. Alright, warehouse is there. We're going to start gathering clay. Currently have 6 wood, 9 wood. Get another brick factory. And we'll build up a little bit more wood. It's still coming in. Currently have 7, and... There you go, 8 wood. So, we have doubled our production of bricks. We are now producing... What does that come out to? We were making 2 tons per minute, now we're making 4 tons per minute. Ooh, we have unlocked the fire station, and I'll tell you what, I definitely want to get that placed now. You'll see once you place it, it's going to train firefighters. Better to have one sooner rather than later, as if you don't have one and you have a fire, that's a problem. Ask me how I know. Uh-oh. Speaking... What are the odds of that? No sooner did I get it placed than there was a fire. Go ahead and zoom in here. You can actually see the firefighters putting everything out.
You're tying the knot. Never.
You can see the firefighters pumping, trying to supply more water. Trying to add a little bit of water pressure.
Whole place has gone up.
The whole place has gone up, but you'll see the fire intensity is going down. The building will be a little bit damaged, but it will heal itself over time, and the firefighters are going to go to the next home. Now what I will do, because we have enough happiness in our city, I can mobilize a second volunteer fire brigade so that we can deal with 2 fires at once. So between the 2, they should start being able to put out this fire very quickly.
Know what Annie does with royalists? We dunk you full of fish.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Flagship ready
Get
for
away from the
orders.
pirates.
Ship under attack.
Oh, we found the pirates. So, while I was on fast forward, we found Anne Harlow. She is the old world pirate, and you'll notice that she has lots of cannon towers and mounted guns and other...
Their blood'll beat while your heart still does.
Yeah, she's really nice. She has gunboats that patrol around as well. And you'll notice that we start de facto at war with her.
We'll give it our
Ooh.
best.
We might actually need to maneuver and let our ship fire.
On our way.
It looks like she's running, so I think we'll let her get away this time. Sometimes discretion... Oops, I got a little lost there. Discretion can sometimes be the better part of valor.
Steersman.
And this might be that case. Keep exploring here. Now we have gotten enough goods to build a sailing shipyard. I think I'll go ahead and build that now. The only problem is we don't have enough workers to actually build anything. We only have 10 workers, so let's go ahead and get some
Cream of the crop.
upgrades. Oh, but we have a problem. We can't upgrade because our people are not being supplied with work clothes. That actually hurts our farmers and our workers.
When we're on.
And when you have a shortage like that, yep, you see it right there. You see your balance goes up and down and can cause things to fluctuate. So let's take a quick look at our stats. Oh, we're undersupplying fish, schnapps, and work clothes. If we look at our supplies, we have 36 tons of fish, but over time that'll go down. We're out of schnapps, we're out of work clothes. Big, big problem. So, maybe it's time to start to specialize things a little bit. Now, we've got this river bisecting our island. I think I want to do something interesting here. I'm going to go ahead and build a road. Now, building a bridge across a river is as simple as just dragging a road. However, note that building basic bridges with a dirt road, these are wooden bridges, they will require 20 wood. If you want to build a stone road, which is a paved street, which is a little bit more effective, that requires bricks to build the street. You see the cost goes up as you stretch the road out further. It's up to 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bricks. But building across a river also costs you 20 bricks, plus whatever bricks are being used for the road itself. So, note that there is a cost to crossing a river. However, now we are across. And what I think I'm going to do here, I think I want to go ahead and build a warehouse. I'm going to drop a road right there. I'm going to build a nice little road around that warehouse. And I want to make schnapps in a slightly more efficient manner. So, we're going to build our potato farm. How many more potatoes do I need? That many. And we're going to build another potato farm. Let's actually see if we can get that over to the river. It doesn't need to be near the river, I'm just trying to do it that way, just to make it look nice. And you know what? I think I could build another one. Let's do that. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab our farm that's over here. I'm going to put you over here as well.
We put our love in.
We already have one being used, so let's go ahead and move it to a better location. So we got all of our potato farming in one location now. You know what? I think I could actually do even one more. Fill that area with fields. Now, how far can these stretch? Oh, you'll notice that this can't quite reach the warehouse. So, we're going to make it reach the warehouse by utilizing some of our bricks to add a paved street. Now, if you look at it, it can reach about 50% further than it was able to before. The paved streets are not exactly, but it's just about 50% further than normal reach if you have the route that your vehicles, your wagons are traveling on, made of paved streets. So, now we've got 5 potato farms. So we're making quite a few potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and move the production of our schnapps over here, but we're going to expand this as well. I think I want at least one more. Let's see. Now we're making just enough schnapps now, so this will be enough to supply our population. Anything extra would end up being just, you know, building up residual here. What we could do, let's say we want to maintain a minimum stock of 50 tons of schnapps. Then, anything over 50 tons we're going to go ahead and sell. How does that work? Well, every once in a while, a ship will come by. You'll have NPCs that will bring ships over here. They will trade with you. Anything that you are trying to sell, anything you are trying to buy, they will try to fulfill that demand. This is not the only way that you could trade schnapps, but this is one of the ways. You could also take excess goods and set up a trade route to go to one of these NPCs to sell them. But note, unless they specifically mention it, like with soap or with potatoes, if they have a request like that, they will actually pay you a premium. If they don't, they're willing to buy everything else, but they'll buy it at a slight loss compared to what you're spending to make that good. So bear that in mind. It may or may not be worth your time. Now, we are producing, if we look in here, we're producing an excess of potatoes. That's kind of nice because if we go... Oh, actually, I do need to solve one other problem. While we have this pastoral landscape over here, I think I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, copy another one of these in. And we're going to move you over here as well. Add a road. I'm going to make this kind of the core of the industry. And we're going to grab our sheep farm. Let's go ahead and make a little corner here with nothing but sheep farms.
One final look.
And we'll go ahead and build a few. Let's get some extra wool. And what would you like to do? Tell you what, we've got a negative here that's going to increase our riot chance. I could use some more cash. I'm going to spend a little bit of my influence in order to go ahead and get a little bit of extra income from my people. See, we're kind of in the negative right now because not all of our goods are being supplied. But hopefully, once work clothes are getting supplied, our people should be a little bit happier with us. So we've diversified a little bit of our production. We've moved things over this direction where we have a lot more space. We can have more of our farming and our basic goods over here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add a few more farming houses. Our farmer workforce is getting a little bit low. What I might do, I might make an extra little town over here. Let's actually do... Going to do something like that. Get a pub. I'm going to show off a little bit of what you could do if you just decided to be a little creative. We'll add a fire station on this main street. And go ahead and wrap a road back behind. Wrap a road over here. Actually, let's do this. Ooh, what I could do... Gonna move a few of those homes. And we're just gonna fill in some tiles here. Oops. I'm gonna add some roads. Something like that. We'll kind of disperse these homes around a little bit. We'll move them back and forth and just kind of create some interesting blocks. Kind of a unique little town over here. Now, why would I go and make a separate town? Well, the nice thing is, this area could exclusively be farmers. So let's go ahead and burn some of that extra wood that we had. Get some extra homes in here. They're going to generate some income. And they're also going to create a farmer workforce for us that can then supply this area. Now, it supplies the entire island, but just for my own, immersiveness, I like to kind of make some local areas like this. And we could even go a step further. You can go into this beautification menu. Let's see. What if... Got a few packs here. You will see some specific things that are added, like from the Docklands or from other DLCs that you might not have access to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some trees in here. Let's see, add a few in there as well. You will notice that adding trees and decorations costs a little bit of money. But they do have a positive effect in that they actually increase the attractiveness of your island. That's something that doesn't really play in right now in the early game, but later on down the line, it is kind of useful. We're going to keep on spending wood to increase our workforce here. And over time, we can take all of the homes here and continue to upgrade them into workers.
Flagship at your service.
Ah, our flagship's back. Now, I never did find that last island.
Coordinates plotted.
Let's check this area out. Let's see. Man, I don't know where Archie is. And I'd kind of like to find him because he'd be very useful right now. He's not back here, is he? Huh. Very, very interesting. I'd also like to make my first extra ship. Let's see. Oh, we're actually underproducing our goods now. Oh, that's right. I need to produce some more fish. Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's see. How are we doing for work clothes? We actually need a little bit more. Let's get one more framework knitter. We have the wool, so now we're producing enough of that. And let's go ahead and get a third schnapps distillery. And keep getting farmers. Oh, we're at a negative farmer workforce. Hopefully this should put us up and over the top, though. Keep adding homes. Yeah, we're producing enough of all of those goods. Let's fast forward to see if we can make this happen. Schnapps is currently at 0 tons. We're slowly building up our
I am a humble
schnapps.
servant of Her Majesty, called upon for delicate occasions such as these.
Here is Archie Blake. This is the guy I was telling you about that
Flagship
I was
ready
looking for.
orders.
Now, Archie is useful because we can trade with him to get some steel. We can also get some wood from him.
Rudder!
Now, why is that useful? Well, it means that we can come over here and we can grab our next island. So we'll give our ship a minute to go ahead and move across the map. He's going to pass this island over here, and he's going to get over to this unsettled island. Now, in the meantime, we need to get some more workers.
We loves you, we does.
How are we looking? We have the work clothes. Looks like ever so slowly the supply is going up. Takes a little bit of time before it gets to 100%. Once it does, we should start seeing our population go up. And there we go. We're allowed to go ahead and upgrade.
Stand to attention.
Let's go ahead and keep upgrading these homes as it allows us. We've unlocked some new buildings. We've got lots of workers. And I think we have enough that we could start getting a sailing shipyard while we wait for some, or a sailing
Flagship
shipyard, a
awaiting
schooner.
instructions.
The city has grown more
While we wait for
beautiful.
that to happen, we have settled a new island. We can name that whatever we want. Island 2. Or we could name it Hops, or Hoppington, or whatever you want to name it. Let your creativity go wild. Now, we have 2 islands that are going to have 2 sets of populations with all of the same needs.
Flagship ready for
Now,
orders.
This island has access to hops, red peppers, and fur, completely different from everything else. Now, we could still produce fish here, for example. There's some things that don't require a fertility. We can still produce sheep farms and use that to get the framework knitters. So I'll build a couple things like that. And we can add our marketplace right here.
An explosion in one of your factories.
Oh no, an explosion at the
A fire broke out.
Oh, and a fire? Let's head back to our island. We're going to zip over there really quick. Uh-oh. Having multiple of these nearby, they like to blow each other up. This whole town needs a fire station anyway. Oh, I already had one
The fire
planned for over
left
here.
ruins behind.
We'll tell you what, we'll build the second one. Oh, everything burned itself out. We'll just go ahead and rebuild those. And I'm going to delete this one since I already had a second one. Add a few homes, build a few more houses. There we go, that whole town is now blueprinted. We've got plenty of extra farmers. We have extra workers ready to go. We have sails being produced. In fact, we're full on sails. And now we just need a little bit of wood before we can make a schooner. We could make a gunboat. They're more useful for some local defense, you know, fighting off pirates, things like that. But we want to save enough wood that we can go ahead and make a schooner. There we go. Now, haha, this is where the game starts to get even more complicated. And you can see that the degree of difficulty slowly increases as you get further and further into the game. It takes about 3 minutes. Of course, we're fast-forwarded to get through the game a little bit faster. Let's get our schooner going. Take a sip of coffee while we wait. In fact, I'll have a little bit more. I'm going to queue up another one.
This.
Not right now. Not in a questing
Ship
mode.
constructed.
So, we now have a schooner. Let's go ahead and open the trade. Oh, actually, let me slow this down to regular speed. We're going to create a new trade route. So, one thing that I'd like to do early on, we have extra potatoes being made here in Menpendu. So, we're going to load those potatoes. We're going to take them to Wormway's prison, and we're going to sell them because he buys them at a premium. He doesn't pay a ton for them, but it is going to make us a little bit of money. Now, you can organize these things any way you want. On the console version, I don't know how that's going to work. You might have to type these things out using your controller, but you will have options for how you want to organize them. You can create groups that these are under and name the groups as well to, I don't know, Old World Trade Routes. Oops. Bum. So, there's a thing. You can minimize those or maximize those. Let's go ahead and get some more money again. But now... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Why did I do that? Let's get back here. Now, he went and grabbed all the potatoes that we had in our inventory. Something I want to do really quick. I want to set a minimum stock, meaning that when ships come here to trade, they will never take... They will always leave at least 25 tons of potatoes there before they take anything.
New orders.
So, what I should do is I'm just going to control-click to bring that back. Again, console controls may vary, but now he's going to grab those 50 tons. He's currently loading. It takes a certain amount of time per ton to load. In fact, you can see it on the warehouse here. The warehouse can load 2 tons of goods per second.
Aye.
Now, the ship is going to start moving towards the other island. We'll fast forward again. It's going to go ahead and follow this route, go around our island, and start heading over towards Wormway's prison. In fact, we're just going to go ahead and watch this as he goes. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Here we go. Now, he's arrived, he sold it off, 50 tons goes away, and you got 1,600 gold for it. And he will do this indefinitely. That trade route is now permanently established. As long as that ship has not been destroyed, he will go back and forth trading happily. Now, you can also set up trade routes between your islands. Let's say I wanted to load... Oh, I don't know. Let's say we wanted to grab some schnapps because we can't produce schnapps on Hoppington. And let's say we also wanted to load up some, I don't know, maybe some timber just to get the island started. And we're just going to bring it over there and drop it off and call it good. Oh, there you go. Done. He will grab up to 50 tons of each of those, and you can modify these things in a number of ways. You can discard cargo if they're too overloaded. You can wait to load, wait to unload. All kinds of different options that you have for setting these up, and there are plenty of guides out there if you want to go ahead and look on YouTube for trading guides. But you'll see he loaded up with a whole bunch of wood. He's going to come over here.
Every ship
Also looks like Archie's trying to trade with us as well. And so is Madame Kahina. Oh, oops. Looks like I never built that marketplace, so all those houses blew themselves up.
Aye.
But you see, he went ahead and dropped all of that wood in. We have a whole bunch of wood there, and now we can go ahead and build even more. Let's give them a little bit of road access. So there you have it. Now we have 2 islands established that are trading back and forth with each other. So this is bringing us up to almost an hour that we've been in here. I feel like I've really displayed a whole lot with the first 2 tiers, giving you an idea of just how far you can go with this game. You can see on the map, we've already explored a bulk of the map and unlocked a whole bunch of islands. There's all different islands that you can explore and unlock and build on. You can build all kinds of different towns. You can exploit all kinds of different trading strategies. You can try and become a tycoon and build your wealth and amass money like crazy. You can try and conquer the world by building, you know, ships of the line and gunboats and frigates and try and attack the enemies and, well, enemies or more passive individuals and decide that you want to take all of their islands. So you can go on the warpath. You can try and form alliances with everybody. You can try and take out the pirates. You can complete quests. You can trade. There are just so many options available to you. You can have the most beautiful islands or the ugliest islands, as whichever you want. So I hope that you guys on the console, if you've never played an Anno game, I hope you will try it for free. This is a series that I am super passionate about. While it is coming to a close here on the PC, as it's been out for about 4 years and they're already working on the next title, with this being a huge console release, I hope that new console players will come to this series, come to love it as much as I do, and start finding that it is something that they enjoy every bit as much as I do. So... and, you know, here's hoping that you guys get access to all of the DLCs and more content in the future as well, and that you'll have access to more Anno games as they come out. This is very, very exciting. It's going to be a huge thing for Anno and for any strategy game players that are out there. So, I'm Coffee and Chaos. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. I so hope that everybody enjoys this content, and if you would like to see any of my other content, be sure to check out my channel. I have multiple playlists with multiple Anno playthroughs, some of them, you know, a little bit different. I do things right, I do things wrong, I make a mess of things, and I also try and do some beauty building on my channel. And I make balancing routes which drive everybody nuts, which that's something you can look in my videos if you want to be if you want to be intrigued by that. And so, I think we'll go ahead and end things here. Thank you again, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.